She was in Charlotte on a light train. She was stabbed multiple times by a...
Horrible. No, I haven't heard.
Okay.
When did this happen?
It happened in August, but the video just came out.
I see. Yeah, I see the video. I'll know all about it by tomorrow morning. Okay? Thank you. Yeah.
Wait, the President of the United States admits he didn't even know a Ukrainian refugee was brutally murdered in Charlotte until weeks later? Why wasn't he told? Why wasn't it covered? And why was the killer still on the streets in the first place? Stay with me, because the answer comes down to one shocking decision you won't believe.
There are evil people. We're all people of religion, but there are evil people, and we have to confront that. I just give my love and hope to the family of the young woman who was stabbed this morning or last night in Charlotte by a madman, a lunatic. Just got up and started. It's right on the tape. Not really watchable because it's so horrible, but just viciously stabbed. She's just sitting there. So they're evil people. We have to be able to handle that. If we don't handle that, we don't have a country.
This isn't just another crime story. It's about how our leaders hide the truth, how the media spins it, and how the justice system failed at the one job it had: keeping violent criminals locked up. And at the end, I'm going to reveal the one judge whose choice set this entire tragedy in motion. Here's what happened. August 22nd, Charlotte, North Carolina. 23-year-old Irina Zarutska. She fled Ukraine, escaping war. She was working at a local pizzeria. She boards a light rail train. Within minutes, she's stabbed to death by a man she never met. A man who should have been behind bars. His name? DeCarlos Brown Jr. 14 prior arrests, armed robbery, assault, weapons charges, schizophrenia diagnosis. And yet he's free, walking the streets, riding public transit. How? Hold on, because that's the part I'll reveal at the end. But before that, let's talk about why you didn't hear about this until weeks later. Charlotte Mayor V. Lyles says the video wasn't released to the public. Her excuse? Out of respect for the family. Really? Or was it because she knew exactly what would happen? That this video would explode online, prove the narrative wrong, and show the public a truth they weren't supposed to see? In the media, same playbook. Fox's Greg Gutfeld pointed it out. Whenever the victim is white, suddenly it's all about mental illness. Take a look.
I'm tired also of the term mental illness being used as a cover for criminality. When a thug targets a woman, that is not insane. He knows she's weaker. When he comes from behind with a knife, that's not insane. He minimizes her ability to inflict harm on him. When the thug flees, that's sane because he knows if he stays, he'll be arrested. So what would be insane would be if he were to face off against a man without a weapon, somebody like a Tyrus. That would be insane. You'd go, okay, that's crazy. But almost all of these people that do this stuff, they go after women. That is not insane. That's self-preservation. This is not insanity. It's an evil mind. And it's an evil mind that is somehow excused in a culture that weaponizes victim status. In this case, mental illness. And what is it about a society that contributes to this? And I say this based on my own personal evidence of being on city streets every single day in New York, that when a homeless person is shouting at people, he's not shouting, I really made a mess of my life. Boy, I really screwed up. No, his aggression is purely blaming other things and other people. He blames the world, he blames people, he blames you. So we're living in a progressive ideological nightmare where the worst in society is empowered by a sense of victimhood. So when this happens, they will still get people like Brian Stelter that says, oh, be careful of the racism, or other people saying, you know what? We really need to be concerned about our services to the mentally ill, which may or may not be true, but he's not mentally ill. He needs to be executed. Lastly, I asked Grok for a conservative count of the number of times the George Floyd video was played, looking at tweets and social media, Instagram, news networks. It came to a conservative number of 975 million times. That is not counting retweets. So that is a snapshot of this liberal disease, the hierarchy of problems. The media And politicians, people like Stelter, implore you not to cover one problem, but to amplify another one to a destructive degree that leads to riots, leads to dozens of deaths. But do not cover this other thing because that is racist. And that is not as important. In the hierarchy of problems, we decide what you cover.
See what I mean? The excuse only runs one way. And then you've got Brian Stelter claiming it's racist to even talk about this, blaming Trump supporters, pretending crime in big cities is just a political talking point. Watch what he had to say.
Happened last month. It only gained national news attention here in the past couple of days. Why is that?
Right. Most murders in the U.S. never become national news. This one's garnered attention for a couple of reasons. Number one, first and foremost, the recent release of that gruesome video. Second, the energy from pro-Trump activists. They picked up on this video from local news and ran with it. It's a little bit like the times when civil rights groups have raised attention about police-involved shootings. In this case, it is Trump-aligned influencers who are posting up a storm about this case on social media. Really, over the weekend, Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk, other Trump-aligned figures succeeded in making this senseless death a symbol of big city crime. We heard President Trump asked about it yesterday when he was heading home from New York City. He didn't seem to know much about it. He said he would get briefed, and then today, Trump did know all about it. That's exactly what has happened here. This story has trickled up from local news to social media and now to the president's attention, and it's being used, as you said, Brianna, as a political symbol, with MAGA media calling for more forceful punishments and more incarceration. I have to say, some of the replies to Musk, some of the comments around this story are baldly racist, stoking fear of African Americans because this man attacked a white woman. The open racism on sites like X today, it's eye-popping. But there are also legitimate questions about this so-called career criminal, someone who had been a repeat offender. And those questions, I hope they're not lost amid all of the cesspool kind of comments on social media.
So did you catch that? He blames racism against white people for the crime itself. He says if you talk about it, you're the problem. Classic spin. And here's the worst part. Trump himself wasn't even told. His staff didn't brief him. Only when the video went viral did he finally comment. Think about that. Even the president is kept in the dark. So why should you care? Because if a young woman can flee a war zone in Europe only to die on a train in Charlotte, then what does that say about our safety? If our mayors hide videos, if our media buries the truth, if even the president is left in the dark, what chance do regular people have of knowing what's really happening in their cities? And here's the part I promised you. The reason this man is free, it comes down to one person, Magistrate Judge Teresa Stokes. Back in January, she had him in custody. Violent record, mental health issues, a danger to the public. And she let him walk. No bail, no supervision, just a written promise to appear. That's it. That's the one choice that cost Irina her life. And now lawmakers all of a sudden are demanding her removal, questioning how someone without even a law degree had the power to make that decision. The whole tragedy wasn't random. It was preventable, and it was preventable by one judge. So now you know why this story was buried, why the video was hidden, why the media spun it, and why Trump didn't even hear about it until weeks later. The bigger question is, how many other stories like this are being covered up? Tell me in the comments, do you think Judge Stokes should be removed from the bench? And if you want the truth behind more stories the media refuses to cover, watch this video next that's on the screen. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't get left in the dark the way Trump did.